Welcome to the Big Match Theory World Cup special. I'm Mangesh and I'm joined by my dear friend Rohit. Before we go ahead, please like, share, subscribe, and all that. Please do that. We are really thankful for your support. And during the World Cup, we are planning to create some kick-ass content for you guys. By the way, Rohit, as we discussed yesterday, Carlo did play three-man midfield, so it seems like he's been listening to both me and you.
I mean, when you got two of the greatest minds in world football, no, when you got two morons on the internet who have nothing better to do, and we are now trying to teach Carlo Ancelotti things. I mean, let's live in that delusion for a little bit more. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, we have been vindicated, and yeah, I mean that's all. But yeah, I mean he played. They defeated Egypt 2-1, and he played. He started with the three-man midfield of Casemiro, Paqueta, and Gimenez. So yeah, that probably gave them more energy. But yeah, after Brazil and Argentina, we'll continue with our squad reviews series with European teams. And today we are going to cover two teams. One is a European giant, and second is Rohit's beloved England. So Rohit,
I thought you were gonna say one is a European giant and the other is France.
I should have actually done that.
Yeah, do it.
But never mind. So Rohit, are you ready to rant?
I am, because again, my thing with England is I've never liked an England squad. I have never liked anything that they do, primarily because of the way they've treated United players.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
seen what happened with Beckham in '98. We've seen the way they've piled on Wayne Rooney,
yeah.
the way they took up in an injured Wayne Rooney to the Euros and just pounded the guy. Was it
Even
the World
Harry
Cup?
Maguire for even Harry Maguire for that matter.
Oh, I was getting to that, and the way that
Yeah,
they've now treated the likes of Harry Maguire,
yeah.
man, there's nothing likable about anything. And for me, I think football tribalism is something that we speak of all the time. Man, I have never found that superpower in me to sit and cheer for people that we have otherwise booed off the pitch. Like, I find it difficult to sit here and be like, oh yeah, Declan Rice and Saka. Oh, I can't do that. So yeah, I mean, for stupid reasons maybe, but I have never ever even thought about supporting England or saying anything good about England. So
Yeah, so we are going to have a ball tonight. But to be honest, both teams, England and France, they have proper proven managers.
yep.
England are managed by tactic Thomas Tuchel, a Champions League manager with Chelsea, who has managed the likes of Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, and Didier Deschamps, a proven manager, one of three players to have won World Cup, both as a player and as a manager. So, Rohit,
Hmm.
can you name the other two?
Is Mario Zagallo one?
That's right. Mario Zagallo won as a player in 1958 and 62, won as a manager in 1970.
Zagallo I knew. I don't know the second one.
Second
Is
name
he
is
is he an obvious one?
very obvious.
Dino Zoff?
No, but okay, think of a defender.
Cesare Maldini?
No, think Germany.
Lothar Matthäus? No, I mean,
Ah,
sorry, you said defender. But
go
oh,
back.
Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer.
That's right. That's right. So Franz Beckenbauer, uh, who won the World Cup in 1974 for Germany in Germany and was Germany's manager in Italia 90 when they defeated Diego Maradona's Argentina.
Mm,
All
mm.
right. And before we start with England, it's also important to note that both the teams, England and France, have two of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah.
France, of course, have Kylian Mbappe, and England have Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Harry, Harry Kane is in insane form to score 61 goals
One
in
goal.
50
It's insane.
in 51 games. That's absolutely insane.
That is insane. And honestly, I mean, I I I genuinely think he has a good chance of a Ballon d'Or,
Yeah,
because the amount of goals he scored, and by chance, if England go further in the tournament, I mean, if they win it, then of course Kane's nailed on, because they're only going to go through if he scores goals. Let's be honest.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll get to the squad later, but yeah, he's had a phenomenal season. I'm so glad to see that guy take the step up, because
Yeah.
he was rotting with Spurs. He was so head and shoulders above Spurs as a club. I mean, I don't mean to, no disrespect, but Kane
Yeah,
should have probably left Spurs a couple of years before he actually did. So,
yeah, 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 yeah. That totally makes sense. So, yeah, they are in Group L along with Croatia, the finalists from
mhm,
the 2018 World Cup. They reached semi-final during the last competition. Ghana, who topped their qualifying group, and Panama, which is a great Van Halen song, by the way. Just in case you
oh
are into
yeah, oh
hard rock.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But England faced Panama in 2018 and they spanked them 6-1. Harry
Yeah.
Kane scored the hat trick in that game. I mean, under Sir Gareth of Southgate, it's fair to say we did not like the way they played, but they have
Mhm.
been one of the most consistent
Yeah,
nations in world football, man.
yeah. They have. I mean, especially in the big tournaments, you can't really fault Southgate's record, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because I mean, of course, he had a great bunch of players and all of that, but I mean, he got to the Euro finals. Then he did decently in the World Cup, and again got to the went further along in the Euros. So can't really fault the guy for anything. I mean,
Hey, so what I was saying is, I think Gareth Southgate's problem probably was his in-game management. I think
hmm,
he was a good motivating figure, good sort of a ambassadorial figure he
hmm.
was, and he did a decent job. But this time they have more tactic Tom on their side. So, Rohit, do you want to walk us through the squad?
Absolutely. So before we get started there, let's also talk about their qualifying campaign. So England had a historic qualifying campaign. So they had 8 wins from their 8 games, no goals conceded.
Oh,
So they had an absolutely brilliant campaign in terms of their World Cup qualification, and the squad that Tuchel has put together is a good representation of his idea. Because if you remember, there's one line that really stuck by me when Tuchel was sort of when there was a press conference where he was talking about his World Cup squad, where he said that to build a winning side, you don't necessarily need to have the most talented 26 players. Like your squad doesn't necessarily have to be the top 26 players in England they go through. So, and that is so visible in the squad
yeah,
that he's put together.
yeah,
Is it, does that mean that it's gonna exactly, translate into success? We don't know. But at
yeah,
least he's somebody who's stuck by his thoughts and opinions. So getting started with the goalkeepers, again, all of these three pick themselves, and the number one picks himself purely based on what he's done in the past. You
yeah,
have Jordan Pickford from Everton, who's been England's number one for a long time now. I think 7, 8
yeah.
years, or maybe
Since
more. I don't know.
from 2018 World Cup, he's been their number one.
That's 8 years. That's a huge. That's
Yeah.
a long time for somebody to be England's number one, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's
And
one of those guys that you think he's not a good player, but he's a very, very good player, man. He
he,
acts
yeah,
like a thug,
yeah.
but he's a very fine goalkeeper.
No, and my thing with Pickford is that I mean, look, people sort of, let's be honest, people laugh at the guy
Yeah,
because he's at Everton, and things that have happened in games against Liverpool and all of that with his time wasting and all that. He's People have sort of laughed at him, but man, whenever I've seen him play for England, I have never seen him sort of make one clangor after the other. I have never seen him not be vocal. Right? It's
yeah,
not like, oh, I've got like I don't know, Bellingham and a Rice and all these guys in my team, but he shouts at people at Everton. He shouts at people
yeah,
with England.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's, I think it goes back to what we talked about yesterday, where that character,
yeah,
like an Emiliano Martinez, of course, Pickford is a different character, but he's a character. He's like one of those vocal characters in the England dressing room.
yeah, yeah,
And where I think he does somewhat lack in size, he is he's sort of an undersized goalkeeper. Like if you look at James Trafford, I think he's what 6'7", and
yeah. He's
Hendo,
yeah, very
He's a,
tall.
he's a
He's very
he's
tall.
he's massive. Hendo's pretty tall as well, I think.
Yeah,
Pickford just, maybe it's the eye test. I don't even know how tall he is, but he just comes across as somebody who isn't that tall. But he more than makes up for it. He's a decent
yeah,
shot stopper.
yeah,
He's a great communicator.
yeah.
He is surprisingly decent at set pieces. So honestly, I think the man picks himself.
And yeah, as you rightly said, he never puts a foot wrong. Huh? At least
Hmm.
while playing for England. I don't remember him making a mistake. See, he might not be a great goalkeeper, but he's a
Hmm.
very good goalkeeper. And
I agree.
all three options England have, they have fine options, man. Dean
Hmm.
Henderson again, a good goalkeeper, and he's a bit of a talker, but he's a good personality. Same with
Hmm.
James Trafford. Maybe he did not play as many games as City as he would have liked to, but again,
Right.
if Pep Guardiola rates you, you might be some player, right? And yeah, could be he could be England's future. We never know.
No, and I think with Trafford, I think the only reason he didn't play is that Donnarumma became available. He was
Yeah,
always brought in with the see because Trafford is from the academy,
yeah,
so he went to Burnley. He had a great time there. So him coming back to his youth club made sense. But when you have Gianluigi bloody Donnarumma available, you go for him. It's as simple as
of
that.
course, of course,
But
of
other than
course.
that, yeah, we could well have seen the guy play. Yeah, we never know.
Yeah, yeah, makes
And
sense.
Dean
That makes
Henderson,
sense.
I mean, we forget Dean Henderson is a part of a. Is he the Crystal Palace captain by any chance, or maybe I'm getting it wrong. I don't know.
It was Gehi before.
Oh, it was Gay.
Yeah, yeah,
But again, Henderson's been their number one. He's been a part of the team that won the FA Cup. He's now been the part of the first choice goalkeeper when they won the Conference League. Was it
yeah, yeah. Conference League.
Conference
That's
League?
right. Conference League. That's right.
So he's got that experience as well. So we're not talking about a guy that hasn't played at the highest level.
Yeah, yeah.
So
True, true.
that's a great mix for these guys to have in
Yeah,
for the World Cup.
agree, agree. Totally agree.
So yeah, I think in terms of goalkeepers, it's a straight pick. There's no, and they've got a good mix. Pickford is what in his early 30s,
Yeah,
Hendo is in his late 20s, and Trafford is 23. So
yeah,
even in that sense, it's not like Oliver Kahn and Jens Lehmann are going to politic their way in the back and all of that. So I think it's a
yeah,
good mix. It's a
yeah.
good
True,
mix.
true. Agreed, agreed.
All right. So then moving on to their defense, which I think is their biggest Achilles heel. So one fact, Mangesh, for this England squad, um, it's I think one of their most experienced squads ever in terms of World Cup appearances. But 22 of the squad for their club have also won a trophy since the start of 24-25 season. So
Wow.
these are a bunch of players that are used to sort of being in the limelight, winning trophies, which is always a huge plus, right? When you go into a
Yeah,
tournament like this. But
yeah,
very
yeah,
weirdly, their defense doesn't really scream experience and winning. Because if I were to go through the list of players and at least the ones that are expected to start, they're not very experienced. And the guys that are experienced, I don't think are going to start. So
yeah,
if you were to look at I mean, by all accounts, the starting back four for England ideally should be say Reece James and Nico O'Reilly on the fullback positions with Ezri Konsa and Mark Gehi in the center of the park. Ideally, uh, Reece James has I think 22 caps for England.
hmm,
Konsa has 18. Gehi has 27. O'Reilly has 3.
yeah,
And if you
yeah,
look at their backups, Livramento with 5 caps, Burns 6, Jet Spence 4,
hmm,
Kwanzaa 1. The only really experienced player out there is John Stones. And
yeah,
John Stones has practically not played football. So he's started England's last 26 major tournament games, but he's only played in 12% of the possible Premier League minutes with Man City this season.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I think what I feel is, I mean, the obvious omission from the squad is Harry Maguire. Of course, he plays for our club and we love him. He's experienced and he's someone who's played at 2 World Cups, scored a goal at World Cup. If you recall, there was a huge meme, famous meme in 2018 World Cup.
When
It
he's
was fun.
talking to those women, right? He's talking
Yeah,
to
he
a
was
yeah,
talking to
yeah.
his wife at the time.
Oh, that was his wife.
That was his
Oh,
wife.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, that was his wife. But I think what Tuchel has done is he has gone with players who are quick and good on the ball. Now, if you look at someone like Ezri Konsa, he's had a good season with Villa. He won the Europa League. He's playing Champions League next season. So, if you look at his qualifying teams, John Stones, whenever he was fit, he played for England during qualifying. Same with Ezri Konsa. So it was always a combination of Gehi, Konsa, and John Stones during qualifying. So I think Tuchel had made up his mind earlier. he was just waiting for probably John Stones' fitness, and as soon as he realized that John Stones is fit, he decided to take him. I mean, John Stones, fit John Stones, who is just 32 right now, is a fantastic player, still fantastic player to have, despite not playing too many games. So maybe, and see, what I feel about defense is, I think you are right that just like Brazil, they have three, four players who are experienced, probably a couple of players who are experienced, and most of them are not experienced at the international level. But I feel during the World Cup, see, I mean, even if you like them or hate them, they have some really good players. For
Hmm.
during World Cup, you can't take everyone. So I
Hmm.
realized why he did not. I wanted Harry Maguire to play for England, but I understand why he did not take him. But by the way, Maguire did not take it well. So Tuchel said that we had a
Yeah,
discussion, we had a call, but Maguire made a statement out in public, and I think one of the reasons is he realized that he might not play another World Cup again.
yeah.
In 2030, he will be 37.
He
So
won't play
maybe,
otherwise.
yeah,
But I'll tell you, but I'll tell you, it's. I feel bad for Maguire also because he's taken Dan Burn ahead of him.
yeah, yeah,
Dan Burn is 34,
yeah,
and sure he's solid and he's a massive bloody unit, that guy.
yeah,
But he doesn't have any big tournament experience.
mm,
Dan Burn has never played in a World Cup before. He's never going to play a World Cup after. He's not had as good a season as Harry Maguire has had for United.
fair enough,
Newcastle
fair
haven't
enough.
had a great season.
Yeah,
Dan Burn hasn't. He's sort of gone down the pecking order, so to speak, in terms of his standing at Newcastle.
yeah,
I don't see a single reason. See, are you going to play? Dan Burn plays either left centre half or he plays left back. Now they already have Livramento, who's probably going to play sort of in that left back position. You've got Nico Riley who can play in that position. Um, then who else are you really gonna play? Are you gonna play Dan Burn at left back?
mm,
In center
good
half,
point.
you have Konza and Gehi who start. Fair enough. You have John
Mm,
Stones who can play in that position. Fair enough. You have Jarrell Kwanzaa who actually had
mm,
a decent season, a good season. Like he's been decent for Bayer
yeah,
Leverkusen.
mm,
You would play him ahead of him. Where are you going to play Dan Burn? Are you going to play Dan Burn ahead of either of those four players?
yeah,
So
yeah,
at least if you had got Maguire in, you had somebody who can, who comes in with that experience, who is generally a well liked player. He's a
yeah,
well liked player in that squad. He's a leader. He's got a good, voice. So
yeah,
again, you wanted. I'm sorry, just to continue that point. If you wanted like two-way players, Livramento I just spoke before. He's naturally a right back, but can very well play left back.
mm, mm,
Can very well play left back.
yeah,
Ezre Konsa can play in and around the pitch. Reece James can play centre half, defensive midfield, and so you've even got your Swiss Army knife types of players.
yeah.
I thought it might have made sense to get Maguire in just for that leadership and just for that sort of being a big voice in the dressing room.
Yeah, that makes sense. See, what do you think about? See, for example, some players might be good players, but they are simply not good for your dressing room chemistry. So I mean,
Hmm.
Harry Maguire is widely respected player. So do you think dressing room chemistry could be one factor? Because look at the way Maguire reacted after his omission. Cole Palmer is not selected. Your Phil Foden is not selected. They did not react that way. I'm not saying that is the reason he did not take him. He might have other tactical reasons behind it. But do you think that could be one of the reasons?
I don't know. I mean, doesn't seem that way only because I don't think anyone's ever spoke of Harry Maguire as a disruptive, not even at United.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
his critique at United has mainly been he's like he didn't really have the confidence on the ball and he was like it's mainly been tactical, it's mainly been
yeah.
him as a defender. I don't think anyone's ever critiqued Maguire as a person.
Hmm, hmm,
Like we've had that criticism of Luke Shaw, we've had that criticism of a few other players who've sort of not been at their best behavior, but not of Maguire. I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know. I mean, Tuchel obviously knows more more than us, but
hmm, yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
look at Maguire in that light. So
yeah,
that's the only
yeah,
thing that pisses me off. And to another point, if you like when you go further in the tournament, right? And we'll get to France a little later.
yeah.
When you have Michael Olise, when you have Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, and Barcola running at you, are you confident that Ezri Konsa and Mark Gueye are going to be able to keep them out? Are you confident that when Michael Olise is dribbling down the right, that either a Nico O'Reilly or a Livramento, if he plays at left back, can keep them? I don't know, man. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Good point. Good point. I mean, one thing I did not realize is why Lewis Hall is not picked and Jade Spence is picked.
Yeah.
I mean, Tottenham had awful season.
And
Spence
Jed
was,
Spence was shit. He was shit.
yeah. I was going to say he did not have a good season, but yeah, shit. Again,
He
we
was
can go with
shit.
shit. So I'm not really sure why Spence is ahead of him.
And by the way, Jed Spence broke his jaw 3 days before the squad was announced, and he's still in the squad.
Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, that's a bit confusing. I don't know the reason behind it because I thought whenever Lewis
My
Hall played,
guess, my
he
guess
was
for
fantastic.
yeah, my guess for Jed Spence is purely and simply the fact that he can play both flanks because he's naturally right-footed. Remember, so
Yeah,
if Reece James, as expected, will break down at some point in the World Cup, he may want to play Jed Spence or Livramento is a natural successor at right back, but he gives you that option. That's the only.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They've got a whole bunch of average players who can play multiple positions, but they don't have a standout. They don't have a Rio. They don't have a John Terry. They don't have that. Who's your John Terry? Who's your Rio Ferdinand? You don't have one.
I think Gahey made a few mistakes when he was playing for City, but for Palace he was sensational. He was in that first half of the season. I thought Gahey was one of the best defenders in the country in the Premier
Yeah.
League. But he made a few mistakes for while playing for City, and one such mistake cost his
Cost
team
them.
the
Yeah.
league.
No, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like even when we talk about Gehi,
Yeah,
Gehi at his peak is still no Rio or a John
of
Terry,
course, no way.
and England shat themselves even with Rio and John Terry. So I mean, Gehi is still one level. Gehi is like a Carragher. Or he's better than Carragher actually, but he's Gehi, Gehi is somewhere between Carragher and Rio and John Terry, somewhere here.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Makes sense.
but yeah, enough of shitting on England's already shitty defense. Unless there's anything you wanted to talk about.
No. We can talk about midfield.
Midfield is stacked. They are stacked as stacked can be. You have Declan Rice, Elliot Anderson, Jude Bellingham, Kobe Mano, Morgan Rogers, Eberishi Eze, and then a 96-year-old Jordan Anderson, who's probably there, as Roy Keane put it, he's probably there to do card tricks or
That's
tell jokes or something. I don't know.
That's exactly what I thought of when I saw Jordan Henderson's name in the squad. What does he do? He's good at card tricks. He was
Card
so
tricks.
funny in that he was so scathing in that interview. Oh, really funny.
But
Uh,
yeah, yeah, go ahead. You
yeah,
start off. Why don't you start off?
yeah. So first I thought, see, you know how much I love Adam Wharton, and first I thought why Adam Wharton is not playing. But you always make a point that he is hooked after 70 odd minutes, right?
Yeah.
And you can't have that in the US, right? You can't have
Yeah.
that in the US in that heat that these guys are not used to. So there is a possibility. That could be one of the reasons Adam Wharton is not
Could be.
in the team. Apart from that, they are good, man. See, I personally think England's most important. There are two most important players at the World Cup. One is obviously Harry Kane. I think second is Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
He gives you so much in the midfield. He can play along with Declan Rice when Declan Rice plays as number six. He can play box to box. He can drop deep, and if say someone like Kobe Mano has the ball, he and plays starts playing like a number eight. Elliot Anderson can manage that as well. So I personally think, as far as England's tactical setup is concerned, Elliot Anderson probably is the most important player they have. I would like to know what you think about it because you are his huge fan.
I fully agree because as you know, he's not going to join United, but I United can sell anything that they have a marketable asset next to it. Just sell what you need to sell to drum up more money for this guy because he is the real deal. Let me
Yeah,
tell you, he is the real deal. He is going to be the guy for the next 10 years. He's going to be the guy. Let's not even there's no debate. He's
yeah.
24. He's at the peak of his powers. He has an almost scarily powerful right foot. He whips crosses in, he plays
Crossing.
short balls. His crossing is
Oh,
insane.
crossing. Oh my god. I mean,
Insane. He's David Beckham as the way he just whips that ball in. You want to talk about keeping things simple? He is an excellent passer between the lines. He, he has an outstanding engine oil. And I have seen him in games when he's played for Nottingham where he's just standing here. The ball goes there in about a millisecond. He's already made up ground. How do you do that from a standing position? I'll never know.
yeah,
So
true.
he's an outstanding player. And he'll probably, I mean, by the looks of it, he'll play in that two-man pivot with Declan Rice,
Yeah.
with Jude as the number 10. But to your
Or
point, yeah,
Rogers.
I mean, Jude Bellingham, we know he's had his run-ins with Thomas Tuchel. They don't
Yeah,
exactly get along really well. But
yeah,
yeah, Morgan Rogers, again, outstanding player. Declan Rice, I think, again, he'll do his bit. He's
yeah,
always, he turns up at, you know, at big games. Well, at some
yeah,
big games. He turns up and sorry, I do apologize. But I mean, Rice is again, he picks himself for England. He's not put a foot wrong in an England jersey, let's be
yeah,
honest. He's
yeah,
done everything that they've asked him to do. He's played six, he's played eight, he's gone further up the pitch, he's tried to chip in with goals. So nothing bad to say about Declan Rice. Bellingham, and I want to get your thoughts on this.
hmm,
He's not had his best season with Madrid.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know what you think he's gonna do.
See, I mean, that's the big issue right now, right? With a lot of Talk Sports and Sky Sports pundit that Bellingham will not play ahead of Morgan Rodgers. But I think what Thomas Tuchel is doing is he's playing players who are good for their clubs, who were good for their clubs for the past year. And Morgan Rodgers had an excellent season. Of course, Bellingham will always have better numbers. He plays for Real Madrid.
Hmm.
Rodgers plays at Aston Villa. But one thing I would like to say is England's biggest issue under Southgate, especially during the last Euros, that they had so many number tens playing in the same line. They had Harry Kane, they
Hmm.
had Jude Bellingham, they had Phil Foden. They at times they had Cole Palmer, and I mean, they were literally playing. All of them were playing in the same line because Harry Kane has a tendency to drop deep and
He's
get
a nine and a
others involved.
half.
Yeah,
Harry Kane is a
get
nine and a half. He's not a nine.
yeah, yeah, and get others involved. At that time, he needs someone who makes run inside the box. And
Hmm.
say what you want about Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling complemented Harry Kane really, really well. We saw that during Euros that Kane used to drop deep and Sterling used to make those runs. So for if you are talking about attack, I feel it will be Gordon and Saka on the flanks. A lot of people are saying that Marcus Rashford. Again, Rashford is one of those players who always turns up for England. He
England. Yeah.
might not do well for his club team, but when as soon as he puts that England jersey, he always delivers. So that
Hmm.
could be one of the reasons Rashford is also in that team. So with Bellingham, see Bellingham is a character. Thomas Tuchel is a huge personality. There will always be clashes between those two. I mean, that's not going to change. And Thomas Tuchel, as a man who likes challenging people, it seems that he is challenging Bellingham. And Bellingham, I don't think he played as many games as Morgan Rogers in the qualifying round. But
Hmm.
he's Jude Bellingham, man. He's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
He will fight for his place. He's not going to run and cry and whine and not
Hmm.
play, right? He will fight
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
his place. So again, that's very good option to have. I have a feeling that he will start with Morgan Rogers, but as the tournament progresses, I think Jude Bellingham will play more part because when you play when you go deep in World Cups, you need more runners, right? You need stacked midfield.
Right.
So probably again, just my hunch. Go. What do you think? What do you think will happen to him?
I don't know, man. I mean, it'll be a big call, and it'll if he doesn't start Jude Bellingham, it's gonna create a lot of noise.
Yeah, yeah,
And of course, I mean, we know Thomas Tuchel is someone who absolutely doesn't give a shit about noise. We know that.
yeah,
He'll
yeah.
do what he wants to do when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. But having said that, I mean, look, Morgan Rogers has been outstanding. Let's be very honest. He has been outstanding. But another thing that if there is a way, if you were like technically there is a way to include both of them. If
Hmm,
Morgan Rogers he decides to play Rogers down the left,
hmm.
because Morgan Rogers usually occupies those pockets in
Hmm.
the left flank, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to your point, when Kane does drop down, we could see Morgan Rogers make those runs from the left inside the box because he does that for Villa. He scores a bunch of important goals for Villa too.
Yeah.
But I mean, isn't that a great problem to have? Who do I want to play as my 10, Morgan Rogers or Jude Bellingham? It's a great
Yeah.
problem to have.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he'll start with Bellingham just because he's Jude Bellingham. But if I mean, I don't even think I 100% know that if Bellingham isn't performing at the level Tuchel wants him, he'll throw him out of the game and bring Rogers back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, who really knows what Thomas Tuchel is thinking about?
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, is Morgan Rogers as talented as Bellingham? Hell no.
No.
But he's a fantastic player. He has had a better season than Bellingham while
Yeah,
playing for a comparatively weaker team. So, I mean, again,
absolutely.
as you rightly said, it's a good problem to have.
And then you have two absolute mavericks who can change a game when needed. You have Kobe Maino, who can come back, who can come in. And he's had a brilliant season after
Oh,
he made his way back. He can play in that. He can play either in the Rice role or the Elliot Anderson role if they're not sort of having a good game. He
yeah.
can come in. He can dictate the tempo. He plays amazing passes. You have Eberishi Eze.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can make a difference in that number 10 or down the flanks. Jordan Henderson, I'm not sure what. I think he's just there for leadership. He's just there for a TED
Yeah.
talk or something. I don't
Yeah,
know what.
but that's the thing, right? I mean, it's going to be a long World Cup. And when you are playing, sort of, you're not in your own country, you're sort of in a country with a different culture. A
Hmm.
lot of players are young. You need someone
Right. You
to
need
sort
that leadership. Yeah.
you need that glue,
Yeah.
which will hold that team together. So Henderson could be that glue. I mean,
Good.
Henderson was a very good player at Brentford. I don't know the kind of season he has had with Brentford, but again, he has always been a good player. So
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Liverpool Jordan Henderson was I mean, he was picking himself, right? There was no
yeah.
question. But
True.
at his age and his age, is more of a leadership role than anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
True,
good
true.
midfield, very stacked, like stacked as stacked can be.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the forwards?
Yes, sir.
Forwards, well, I mean, you have the best number 9 in the world, as per me. I don't classify Mbappe or Vinny as nines,
Yeah,
but if you don't talk about nines, you don't get better than Harry Kane. That
absolutely.
guy is a monster. He can play 50-yard balls. He can dink goalkeepers. He can smash it into the back of the net. He's good with his left, his right, his head. He can probably score goals off his ass if he ever puts his mind to it. There is nothing this guy can't do. He is an absolute legend, and we don't use this word lightly.
Yeah,
Neither you
right.
nor I. But that guy is a legend. It's a legend for
100%.
England. He's a Premier League legend. He is one of the best centre forwards I've seen in my life. Just how cultured and how polished that guy is. He's
Yes,
too.
yes. True,
So
true.
yeah, so he obviously starts, undoubtedly, unquestionably starts first name on the sheet. The
Yeah.
flanks, I think, as you mentioned, it's going to be interesting. You have
Hmm.
Anthony Gordon, who has just earned his big move to Barcelona, something apparently he's been working on for years, and he's learned Spanish.
Spanish.
Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
so that's great. That's great to see a guy who sort of planned that move, his career move out. Right, you saw that with Bellingham, with Haaland. So he
yeah,
seems
yeah,
like he's taking those steps up. Amazing to see.
yeah.
Uh, Saka, I think. I mean, Saka's an interesting one. He's very talented,
Hmm.
no doubt about it. But I just look at him and I'm like, does he have that big step up in him to deliver at the highest stage? Because even this season, as good as he's been, and again, to
He's not been great. He's not been great. I agree
he's
with you
been
with that.
yeah, his numbers
Yeah.
haven't been great. But
No.
even if we discount it, given the fact that that's how Arsenal play,
Hmm.
like you can't expect him to do the defensive dirty work and just sort of be that guy who's just going to put balls in or whatever. But you can't expect him to get goals from there. But having said all of that, he's 24. I'd still want to have seen more, or I want to see more from this guy. But he starts down the right. I don't deny that. But
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's. I don't know if he's at that level. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. So I thought that, Saka a couple of years back was excellent. I thought he was going to take that next step last season. That did not happen. This season, because of the way Arsenal play, again, there is a, I feel that he has a higher ceiling than what he is doing right now. And again, he's just 24, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
of course.
if you consider him as a runner, of course, he's
Yeah,
more than just a runner, but I
of
think
course.
he can do a decent job for England. Marcus Rashford on the right hand side, he simply can't play. He can't play.
Yeah, he can't.
Marcus Rashford could not play as a sort of as a number nine. He was very good on the left hand side, but he could not play on the right. He could not play as a center forward.
Mm.
So Marcus Rashford has that limitation. Saka is still here. I think Gordon and Saka on both flanks with Kane dropping deep. I think they
I
can.
think so.
I think they can cause problems at least in the group stage. Later we'll see
I
what
think so.
happens when England go deep, and of course they will go deep. But at least in the group stage, this should work.
I think so. Now I mean, Saka picks himself down the right. Gordon, in all probability, picks himself down the left, unless again Tuchel does something weird and plays Morgan Rogers there or something. But
Yeah, yeah,
that's a matter for a different day.
yeah.
Plus, along with that, I think in terms of options off the bench, they have. I think Ollie Watkins is just a brilliant number nine
Mhm.
option to bring off. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like they're going to take Kane off, but if they're chasing a game and they need that bulky presence in the box. You could see Kane dropping to 10 and sort of play the 9.5 with Ollie Watkins. And
yeah,
Ollie Watkins is a damn good option to have in that role.
yeah.
Madueke and Rashford, they're decent options to just in case like one of Saka and what's his name,
Yes,
Gordon. They're not having
yeah, got
great
it. Huh.
games, or you just want some extra pace. They're not bad options to have. Good squad
Yeah,
players, never going to start as first choice. And
yeah.
then you have again Tony. Again, I don't know. He's
That's a strange
I,
one, right?
it's a strange
He's
one. He
been.
plays in Saudi, firstly.
Yeah, yeah.
And could they have taken Cole Palmer instead of Ivan Tony
I
just for
mean,
that moment of brilliance?
see, Tony has been scoring goals for fun.
Hmm.
I mean, he scored, I think, 50 odd goals from 60 games in Saudi or something like that. Uh, Again, it could be one of those sort of coach's instinct that, yeah, this player might work. Because see, if you recall, a couple of years back, United were linked with Tony.
Hmm.
I don't know how reliable it was, but he was linked to a lot of decent teams, good teams.
Hmm.
So maybe it could be one of those coaches' instinct that, yeah, this guy could do a job for me.
Yeah, maybe Thomas Tuchel bets on Ivan Tony doing well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But the
and you know
fun
what?
part,
Sorry. I was just going to say another
huh,
area where Tony might play a part is that he's an outstanding penalty taker.
yeah, yeah,
So just in case, we might just see a reverse Louis Van Gaal. Instead of the goalkeeper, he brings another forward on because Tony is an outstanding penalty taker, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying something.
So actually, so I was watching Roy Keane after England versus New Zealand game, and
Hmm.
Roy Keane made a very good point about Harry Kane that he said that winter breaks are very important. And Kane, since he's
Hmm.
playing in Bayern, he has
German.
had a winter break. And he said not just for your sort of physical, they are also important for your
Mental.
mental well-being. Because you
Hmm.
spend a couple of weeks with your family during those Christmas time.
Right.
That's an important time for them, right? So he said that I thought that was a very, very good point that Harry
Hmm.
Kane, one of the reasons that he's so fresh, he doesn't look jaded. Before
Hmm.
every big tournament, Kane always had some injury. So I don't remember a tournament before this where Kane was so fresh and he was
Right.
just up for it. There was always some niggle with him. If you recall,
Right.
before the Champions League final against Liverpool, he had an injury.
Hmm.
During last World Cup, there was some issue with him, and also, he has a point to prove because he missed that penalty against France. The
France.
next team we are going to talk about. So he has that point to prove. So I
Hmm.
think
That's fair.
Kane could be one of the best players of this tournament. You know?
He will be, man. He's so good.
Yeah,
He's so good. I think he will be.
yeah. So what's your
Hmm.
verdict about England, Rohit?
Semis. I think
Yeah,
semis, it depends on who they play in the semis after that. If you're playing France, are they better than France? No. If they play, if they sort of luck their way into playing an inferior team, they might make the finals. I don't think they have enough to win the whole thing. I don't think so. But I think the at bare minimum they'll make the semis because they have some very good players.
but there is a possibility that they will play Brazil in the quarterfinals.
Is that so?
Yeah, yeah. If Brazil win all their games and if everything goes as per plan, it will
In
be
that
England versus Brazil in the quarterfinal.
in which case everything about me will be yellow. I'll be wearing yellow from head to toe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, again, I feel they will reach the quarterfinal for sure. If they play Brazil in the quarterfinal, I'm not
Hmm.
sure about their chances. But again, this is new format. Anything can happen. Brazil can drop points and they will play someone else in the quarterfinal and they will reach semi. You never know, right?
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's a very good balanced squad. Uh, I still worry about for their defense. Their
Hmm.
defense probably isn't that great, but I
It's
mean that's the
not.
case with everyone, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
case with
Something or the
everyone.
other. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's a good balanced squad, and I will not be surprised if they reach semifinals.
Yeah. Same here. Same.